right, welcome everybody to the Digging in the Trenches. I'm Bobby Finstock, joined by the one and only JPF Scout, Justin, Sean
What's up,
Williams,
guys?
Dr. Reginald Brown.
Dr. Brown in the house.
Justin, man, introduce everybody, bro. Tell us what we got going on today.
Oh, man. First of all, I want to start by thanking Dr. Brown, our distinguished guest down there. He's Reggie Brown is on the show with us today. And then we got my man down there, Sean Williams, is also going to be on the show today. We're going to talk about the Dolphins, man. We're going to talk about what's happened over the last couple weeks, and then we're going to get into breaking down that part of the game. But we'll just keep it live here. You know, how's everybody been? You know, how's it shaking, Bobby?
Man, I'm feeling a lot better, brother. We've been going through it. We had RSV, we had the freaking stomach bug, and then we had the flu. And, man, thank God, I'm still coughing a little bit, but I'm doing all right. I want to tell everybody the background noise. That is Dr. Brown. He's at the Hall of Fame game.
Yes,
he's giving us some time. He wants to talk Dolphins. He wants to talk football. We're always gracious to have him. Dr. Brown, how you doing?
Hey, it's all good, man. Got inducted into my college Hall of Fame last night.
Congratulations.
I keep tricking them. I keep tricking them, man. Somehow they just keep celebrating me. So my family and I are just very fortunate. But, hey, I wouldn't be here without them. But I love you, and I love the show, and I love the work you're doing. So I got to be the Digging.
Oh, man, we love you too, man. Thank you for coming here on the show. We love having you every week. So
Sean Williams is in the house. What's up, Sean?
Sean.
Oh, I think you're on mute, brother.
No, I don't think he's on mute. I think his mic is maybe in his sweater.
There's issues with the audio.
Yeah,
I heard him a little. I thought I heard him a little bit, but let me just say hi to everybody who's tuning in, whether you're on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. Thank you. Watching Digging in the Trenches with JPF Scout, Bobby Finstock, Dr. Reggie Brown, and Sean Williams. Evan, I see you there. Josh Wingate in the house. We appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Josh already saying, which I talked about was very quick, was Nick Chubb versus the linebackers. That's gonna be big tomorrow. I've never used earpods on the network.
It's going to be huge.
Let me just say this very quick before we get started. That way it's out of the way, but we'll talk about it again. But I just want to say, as Sean figures that out a little bit, guys, look at that jersey that Justin's wearing. Check that out.
Nice.
Check that jersey out.
Nice.
All right? Ain't that nice? Let me tell you, you want to get hooked up, reach out to this gentleman right here, JPF Scout on Twitter. Send him a message. All types of Dolphins gear, NFL gear, college, MLB, anything and above. This is your man. Reach out to him. He will take care of you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
appreciate the plug there.
Justin never appreciates me, Evan. Justin appreciates you more than you know. Don't be like that.
Evan, I love you, buddy.
But Dr. Brown, we got you. Sean, did you figure it out?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you perfect now.
Oh, good.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Finally making the weather transition in New York this weekend, I think. Not looking forward to it, but looking forward to our last football game before taking a little vacation for a couple weeks.
Right.
That's right.
Football.
Yes, as soon as the Dolphins get a bye week next week, I will be in Florida. Of course, right as soon as I get to Florida, they got the bye week, so I can't go to a game, but that's okay. I'm going to see family. It'll be fun down there. But I'll have to hit you up. The wife wants a Waddle jersey. Josh Wingate talking to JPF.
We got you.
Hey, man. He got you, brother. Trust me, he got some beauties. All right, so Dr. Brown, let's get right into it. Justin, Dr. Brown got 20 minutes, man.
Yep.
Hey, what do you think? How do you feel about this game tomorrow, brother?
I feel really, really good. I think it really comes down to a couple things. One, their defense won't be able to stop our offense. I know they have the defensive end, and he's a formidable opponent, but we get the ball out our hands so quickly that I don't think that Garrett will be an obstacle for us. And then we got to stop Chubb. That's what it comes down to. And
yes, sir.
Our defense has been really good at stopping the running backs. I think we just struggle with big plays. So I really don't even see him as a challenge as long as we game tackle and do what we do with the main running back.
Right. I agree with that. Yeah, I was going to say, first to start off this whole thing, to jump into the game, first and foremost, the Browns, they're a running team. In my opinion, they're going to focus on maybe even putting jumbo packages out there and running behind it. They're going to try to oppose their will upon us and make us stop them. So I agree with what Reggie was saying right there wholeheartedly. When you get into the stacking bricks part of the segment, which we'll just jump it in right now, the Dolphins have 43 bricks now that we've added Bradley Chubb and we have Jeff Wilson, and the Browns have 30 bricks. They're not really too far behind us. I won't take any opponent lightly. I think they will be someone we'll have to, prepare for. We're going to need to start the game fast. We need to come out of the bricks fast. Honestly, what their plan is going to be is to run the football and keep our offense off the field. So I think what we need to do is reverse that on them and run the football a little bit ourselves.
Yeah.
And just keep you know what I'm saying, Doctor? And then keep them off the field.
I think
we need to play. Go ahead, Doctor.
No, I was just saying, I think that our running game, it's been getting better, and I think it's going to continue to get better with adding Jeff Wilson. But that pressure of scoring at 3 minutes a clip, we want to take some time off and get our defense some rest as well. Certainly we want to end it with a score, and if it takes 30 seconds a minute, but I think for us, optimally, is get the running game going, establish that, particularly for the Browns, but also as we get ready for the playoff run.
Yes, sir, absolutely. What do you think about the game going into it, Sean?
So the game worries me a little bit. It would worry me a little bit more if it was in Cleveland, but I feel like from a matchup perspective, it's a tough one for us. If we can't stop the run, we're going to have a really long day because the Browns have a really efficient passing game. They have a great offensive line. They have Brissett play a very easy, efficient, smooth passing game.
Yeah.
And their defense is tough. Look, I know Tua gets the ball out and like that, but you got two edge rushers that can be a problem. Sorry, that got really loud for a second.
You're good.
And our pass defense sucks.
True.
For me, it's all about, can our top 5 ranked run defense get the early stops, and the offense get maybe an early touchdown or so lead, so that we don't see as much Nick Chubb, because the Browns, when they're playing from a deficit, usually take Chubb off the field, put in Hunt, and try and go to the pass, and maybe that's where we can get them to mess up.
Right.
Yeah, I think that I'm not so concerned about Chubb. Again, I think our defense will do a pretty good job on their base running game. I think that what we could get in trouble is, like you said, Kareem Hunt coming in the game, doing those kinds of things. Play action has been somewhat of an issue for us, and so we got to stop that. But mainly shut down the run. I don't think Amari Cooper can beat us, although he's a good receiver, and People Jones, can make some plays.
Yep.
Shut down the run, and we should be good.
Right. Yep. Make them one-dimensional and make them have to beat us over the top with their arm. Exactly. That would be my game plan going into it.
Dr. Brown, you would have 100 yards against this defense if you were back in your peak playing days.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. I expect that we're going to get better. All of us keep saying, when are we going to have a complete game? When are we going to have a complete game? And I think this may be the game to get us right. I don't think that Chubb and Jeff Wilson can be underestimated what they're going to do for this team moving forward. And it's just about gelling and getting better. I was really impressed just with the physicality of both of those players.
Right.
I think we've lacked that on both sides of the ball this year. So having some guys who bring that physicality is really going to help us.
So we're not expecting a Jacoby Brissett revenge game, right, guys?
No, sir.
7 touchdown? No, all right. Just want to make sure. No, I think Sean had great points. We look at the Browns and we go, we know Deshaun's not playing. We go, it's the Browns, and they're 3-5 on the season. But I mean, they're a good 3-5 football team.
They don't have any bad losses.
No, they don't.
One bad loss to the Patriots. Everything else has been close.
Nick Chubb is the second leading rusher in the NFL, right behind Derrick Henry. What's it? 149 attempts, 841 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns, and then you got Kareem Hunt right behind him. And like Sean says, they're not making Jacoby do too much. It's not impressive numbers, but he's not costing them football games, things like that. Myles Garrett. That's what I'm nervous with. The offensive line, which has been getting better. Offensive line, JPF, digging in the trenches, brother. This is your forte, man. You and I have said it. This is what got us grooving. We love the trenches. Defense, offensive line. Offensive line has been getting better week after week, but they're going to be facing a test against the fifth. I think he's fifth in the NFL in sacks, 7.5 sacks in the league. Myles Garrett. Yep. How are you feeling about the offensive line? I know you're going to do the bricks. But how are you feeling against the test the offensive line has to face protecting Tua this week?
I think it's a real test. The one player that does get me nervous is definitely Myles Garrett. I mean, Javon Clowney's on the other side too. So, I mean, both of them honestly make me a little nervous. But, yeah, Myles Garrett is very he's a power pass rusher mixed with speed. He's a freak of nature. This guy will get into the backfield. I mean, he might give Tua a hard time. But I think the offensive line has been, like you said, it's been playing a little bit better. That also goes, too, with play calling. I mean, you can slide protection one way or the other. You can roll Tua out, make it harder for them to get to him. I also want to see employed during this game, Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert. I want to see a chip block applied to the Toronto Armstead. Yeah, most definitely. Reggie knows what I'm talking about. I want to see some shit blocking going down in there. Alec Ingold. It could be Alec Ingold. I don't care who it is. Yeah. But I want help over on the left-hand side. Tight end, fullback, whoever. Even a wide receiver. I don't care. I need help on that side of the football field. But they've been playing better, man. They've been playing as a unit is what I really liked. No one is standing out to me, besides Teron Armstead because he's very consistent. But they're playing together, and I think that's got a lot to do with Teron Armstead. He holds it down. He is the anchor of the line. Then you go down the line, you squeezed in Jones last week in between Connor Williams and Armstead and actually didn't play too damn bad. He had a couple plays where he got ran over. I seen that. He's not going to be perfect on every snap, but they're playing together and they're starting to gel. In fact, right before they got Liam Eichenberg got hurt, I really thought they were starting to gel right there. I thought we were getting ready to break out for 175, couple hundred, maybe 200-yard rushing game. But it just didn't happen. But, you want to jump right into some bricks, too, we can. So just let me know.
I just like to say, I agree with you about Garrett. But I feel comfortable with Teron Armstead handling him by himself when he's on his side. And then you make a great point. Ingold, Smith, chipping him to safety or Smythe, chipping him on the way out. Clowney is a good player, but I think he's past his prime. And I
agree.
We just don't let him get off and just have some, rejuvenation game. We should be fine. Their tackles are pretty good, too. They get a little push at the front. But overall, I think we should be good chipping them.
Liam who? Yeah.
Hey, so I was talking to some Browns fans the past few days. Myles Garrett will not be on Teron Armstead's side. They've been playing him a lot more on the other side. And they've even been moving him inside, too, on pass rush. So it looks like Armstead will get Clowney and Brandon Shell will get Garrett.
If that's the case,
so we'll see.
Oh, man, that's gonna change things a little bit for me. So,
especially on the blind side, to his blind side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, then going back again into let's just change that chipping the side to the left side. We'll just have to switch that to the right side. So we'll have to have a tight end stay over there and help him out. We'll have to have Ingold come in chip, the running backs chip. We're going to need to help out to both sides, apparently. But if you're saying they're switching him inside and even moving him down low, even on passing plays and passing downs, the whole offensive line is going to need to have the communication be at an utmost crisp level. The pass-offs are going to have to be there. The communication is going to have to be there. And you know what really stops a really good pass rush? Run the football. If you run the football, it's going to eliminate some of that pass rush. So by running the football, it would eliminate them coming after us because you're running the ball, you're not passing it.
Hey, fellas, they calling me. We getting ready to go on the field.
Man, thank you so much for being here.
Man, love you guys.
Congratulations.
We appreciate you, Dr. Brown. We'll see you next time, brother.
Yes, go Fins.
Go Fins,
Fins
man.
up.
Fins up.
Love you, man.
All right, Dr. Brown joining us. He's at the Hall of Fame game. He was inducted. That was awesome. Inducted yesterday. Let me ask you guys this. Now, we were talking about it earlier on Fitz Talk today. Isn't it cool right now? I mean, there was a lot of debate at the beginning of the season between Dolphin fans, all this whatnot, and Tua's answering it with the weapons that he's had, with the coaching staff. It's great to see. But so, Tua's being thrown out there for MVP. There's another player in this offense that I would argue is just as equal as an MVP. We were talking about it. Tyreek Hill, Tua. Obviously, yes, logistics, reality sets in. You say, hey, realistically, quarterback's going to get the MVP. Tyreek Hill is more likely to get Offensive Player of the Year. In your opinion, my opinion, it's Tyreek's the MVP of this football team and the MVP of the league. I mean, what he's doing, he's projected to get 144 receptions, 2,885 yards, 6 touchdowns. Not a lot of touchdowns. I mean, but those are crazy numbers when it comes to yards and what he's done, not only on the field, but off the field. As soon as when he came on the team, despite all the noise, Watson, Jackson, Brady, he's had Tua's back. He said, hey, look, I could have gone to New York. I chose Miami. Money was equal. Picks were equal. I chose Miami. Tua's the guy, most accurate quarterback, got all the heat, was leading the bandwagon, quote unquote, pun for Evan Posner.
The bandwagon.
And then, obviously what McDaniel has done can't be understated. But Tyreek has really put the team off and on the field on his back. And what he's done on the field, not only just with Tua, with 2 other quarterbacks for 2.5 games, with Teddy and Skyler, has been unbelievable. You can't ignore what Tua has done. His numbers, I think he's 14th in the NFL in passing overall, but really he's a top 10, top 5 quarterback in the league. And the games that he has missed, or he was out a little bit and he was out 2.5 games, the Dolphins lost. So you can't say, he is a valued MVP for the Dolphins. My opinion, Tyreek is more of a deserving of MVP of over just the whole thing. Justin, I'm going to start with you, brother. Then Sean, who, if you had to pick one of them, who's the MVP?
Honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you're a betting guy, your money should be going on Tua because that's where my money went. I think Tua is going to be the MVP. If he continues the trajectory that he's going on right now, he's going to run away with it. Yeah, you got a couple people that are ahead of him, and you're talking like Tyreek versus Tua, the MVP. Honestly, you just said it. Quarterbacks are the ones who should be in the MVP talk. Tyreek Hill's going to be in the Offensive Player of the Year. He's going to run away with that. He's setting records. He's changing this team. And I don't really agree with your standpoint, but I understand it. Like, you think Tyreek's the MVP, but Tua's the MVP, and that's the way it's going to be. And the reason why is because what I just said, the quarterbacks are the ones who win.
Shouldn't it be a quarterback award then? I mean,
that's something what I mean? That the league would have to decide, though. So
yeah, you know what I mean? I get that point. It's not wrong because, again, realistically, quarterbacks are the ones that get MVP.
Yep.
But if you're talking about most valuable player, no one could argue what Tyreek Hill has done for Jalen Waddle, what he's done for Tua, what he's doing for this offense. I mean, people say, oh, he's underthrown. He's this, he's that. He's not under. He's jumping 6.5 feet, making crazy plays, doing crazy things week after week after week. I mean, I think if you took Tyreek out of this team, it would be a different scenario. But go ahead, continue. I agree with you, and then that point with the quarterback award, but then it should be a quarterback award, not an MVP.
True. That's true. Like, we can't change the narratives of the awards or the names of them, but I agree with what you're saying. Without Tyreek, we wouldn't be doing what we were doing. When we first got him here, I knew it would open up the field in such a way. Like, the middle of the seam is wide open, and it's going to continue to stay that way with Tyreek. Does he deserve to be in the conversation for MVP? Yeah, he does. He's not going to win it, but he deserves to be there for it. It's just the way the league's set up. Just like when the team loses, the quarterback and the coach gets the blame. It's kind of like the same scenario there. Do you know what I mean? So, just like potato. Like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? It really, at that point, it doesn't matter. But I think we got a great team, and 2 MVP people that are being talked about in the conversation makes it even better. I mean, we have a great team, you guys. We should be proud of what we have, what we've done to this point. But you know what? The job's not done yet. If you talk to one of these guys or any of these guys, they're going to tell you right now, hey, those records and those stats are all meaningful and they're great and all, but the only statistic I think they care about is the one at the end of the year when you're holding up that Lombardi trophy, because that's what we all want to see. So the statistics, to me, take them out. We got a great team. We play a great game of football that we all get to enjoy every week. I mean, these guys go out there and put their lives on the line for us, and you know what? I love them for it, man. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, so I'm going to staunchly disagree with just about everything you said.
It's okay.
I mean, no one's going to want to hear this, but there's a school of thought that makes a lot of sense, that so many people were Tua detractors that they are not going to be willing to admit they're wrong this season in making him an MVP. And as we know, politics is involved in everything.
He's the best quarterback in the league, though.
Now we'll get into my opinion. So Tua's not scheme transcendent. Like, you can't go and put Tua in a spread offense. You can't put him in a vertical passing offense. Like, he's not going to have the same results. Tua's not a byproduct of his weapons. He's not a byproduct of the scheme. He's a byproduct of the coach identifying the right way to maximize what he's good at on the highest possible level. And that ties in the scheme, that ties in the weapons, that ties in all of it. It's not that he's a byproduct of it. It's that the coach figured out how to, magnify what his best traits are and put that on display on a weekly basis. Right. Going to Tyreek, I think Tyreek would have the best shot. However, last year, Cooper Kupp finished just short of 2,000 yards as well, and a lot more touchdowns. I don't even think he finished in the top 3 in MVP voting. Nope. I think in order for one of them to finish in the top 3, you'd have to look at the Dolphins would have to go 12-5. It doesn't matter the stats. Like, they would know 12-5 to have to keep up these performances every single week. And I think that a big part of that is, political aspects. And the person who brought it up, a lot of people don't respect him. I do. I just know what to filter in and out. And that's Omar Kelly. He brought it up that most MVP voters aren't going to be willing to admit that they were wrong. This is not Tua. They're more likely going to chalk it up to the Tyreek, the McDaniel, and everything else. And that's the reality of life. That's how he's good, whether we agree or like it or not.
Well, I mean, I don't agree with it at all, but I'll be honest with you, neither does Las Vegas, because I'll be honest, I just put my money down on it, and it was plus 6,000, and I just went and looked, and they're offering me already a $100 buyout on it, and it's jumped from plus 6,000 to plus 1,000, so that's 5,000 points that MVP Tua's name has jumped up. So I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard.
I think
it's going to be hard to.
But if they don't vote for him, they're going to look like total dumbasses, which they already are. But I'll be honest with you, dude, it's going to make it even worse if you don't vote for him. And
Let me just say, I think Sean had a great point about Cooper Kupp. Because Kupp's numbers were pretty good. The only thing I would say that's different is Kupp went from Jared Goff to Matt Stafford. Kupp was already great, but he upgraded.
Oh, for sure.
Where a lot of people would say is that Tyreek downgraded. A lot of people were criticizing Tyreek. And when Tyreek started coming out and saying, hey, man, Tua's most accurate quarterback here. Oh, you're crazy. You're talking about Pat Mahomes. You went from Pat Mahomes to Tua. And his numbers are going to be better because of – and it is what Tyreek is doing. Tyreek didn't just do it with Tua.
Yeah, if I had to pick an MVP of the league, it's Tyreek Hill, hands down. Like, Tua's season isn't happening without Tyreek. It's just not. And that, again, that's not saying Tua's a byproduct of Tyreek. It's not happening without Tyreek. Like, this offense we see isn't happening without Tyreek. It's just not. It's a fact.
So is it fair to say that they both operate on the highest of levels together, correct? Like you were just talking about the head coach.
I think it's not just those two. I think it's the coach. I think it's every piece on the offense, whether it's Teron Armstead, whether it's Jalen Waddle, like it's all of those pieces coming together.
Evan's here in the comments, Kenna, California. I see you guys. Thank you all for tuning in and watching Digging in the Trenches with JPF Scout. Sean Williams, Dr. Brown was with us. Smash that like and subscribe button. But, and Evan's been watching me forever. He helped me in everything. All the points Sean is saying, it's like at the beginning of the year.
Good points.
Alex loves to make jokes about it. But when I say the team, before the season, the team is a quarterback away. And it wasn't a knock on Tua. The point was that saying that the team is a quarterback away, but Tua could get to that point. He has the weapons to do it with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. He has the coach to do it who believes in him like he didn't have before. And so far he is responding. So, and that's great.
And you know what? I don't even really care about MVP. Like I want to see him make.
Oh, for sure. They want to win. I
think that's how they're going to do it. I think he won't get MVP, but he will get first team All Pro.
I think he's going to win it, bro. I think, like you just said, he has to go up and max up his game.
I mean, Jalen Hurts has the easiest schedule in the NFL. Like you're not. I find it very hard that you're gonna pass because he has a cakewalk the rest of the way.
If Washington beats him this week, I mean, it could change.
They have one loss to our 3. Like still, I just don't. I think. You're misunderstanding me. Like it's not my opinion that he should be MVP. You're coming from it from a perspective of you think he's the MVP, so he should be the MVP.
Sure.
Where I'm looking at it as it doesn't matter what my opinion is. The reality is he's most likely not going to be the MVP.
Yeah, you're saying the Associated Press is not going to let it happen. I understand that completely. But I just think that's asinine. That's just it's crazy to me that if the guy's the best, he needs to be crowned
there's no
the
reason
best.
Xavier Howard did defensive MVP or defensive player of the year 2 years ago. Like he should have had it over Aaron Donald, but he didn't. He wasn't even in the so
he got.
I don't even think he was in the top 2 because TJ Watt was behind Donald, and then it was Howard.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It's just the way shit works.
Yep.
Zach
totally
Thomas isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Yeah,
but it's you don't know what's going to happen. No one does. Like last year, it's 2 different sports, but I'll take this as an example. Embiid was supposed to be the MVP, and Joker won, and everybody was mad because Joker won. But Joker had the better numbers. Joker did better with his team. He should have won the MVP. So if Tua goes to the playoffs, goes to the AFC Championship game, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But if he does that, he should be the MVP. I mean, I don't know
I think it comes out before.
It has nothing to do with the playoffs. It has to do with the regular season. But
well, the regular MVP, the regular season MVP. He
also you got to remember
than anybody right now.
But you gotta also look at the factors, what adds in. I mean, somebody put it right here. I think it was Kenna. Was it Kenna who said maybe? And I don't want to put. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. I don't want to say something. Where was this Tua last year? Where was it? And to me, it's the factors that adds in. Tyreek Hill, Mike McDaniel. All they added was AJ Brown, and but Tyreek Hill, you had the Jalen Waddle, new offense, new coach that believes in him. Those factors play in. Okay, then what adds this in? And I think that what Sean was bringing up, I don't know, and Sean, forgive me, I don't want to say it like that, but you're saying kind of like that he has the system around him to make him successful, right? He's successful because of because of where he is right now and the offense he has around him.
I think the way that Sean meant it is that the coach found a way to maximize both of those players' abilities. And
What's up, Liz?
With that. I totally
like you can put Aaron Rodgers. You can put before this year Aaron Rodgers on any type of offense, and that he's going to succeed. You can't do that with Tua. Tua is not scheme transcendent. He's not.
Okay.
He wouldn't survive the same way in the Chargers offense, for example. And I'm not saying not to compare him to Justin Herbert, but the Chargers run a very vertical passing spread offense. He just that's not his game. He has a specific game.
California thinks it's a system around him too, and I get that, and that's why I said the team is a quarterback away, and it's with the weapons he has and the coaching staff. There's no reason, and he's answering it. He's been consistent, putting up good numbers.
I also think
I wouldn't make him MVP.
Needs to be said that we have yet, like, I think we have yet to face the toughest defenses we're going to face. Like, I don't think what Tua is doing is necessarily going to be sustained. We have a super tough San Fran defense, a top 3 defense in the NFL. We have Green Bay's defense, which Green Bay's defense is really good. I know they're losing games, but it's their offense. We have Buffalo and Buffalo. We have New England's defense, which has gotten really, really good. So, like, I just don't see being sustained, especially throughout once we get into December and January, like with the weather. Like, he's not going to be throwing 350-yard, 3-touchdown games. For me, it's going to be hard to sustain what he's doing against the 2 worst pass defenses in the NFL the past 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. It's not going to be something he's going to do during the weather, but we say that. We all say that. Oh, well, he's not going to be throwing for 350 and 3 touchdowns. We don't know that. If that's what he has to do in order to win the game, and he does it, dog, I'm going to pull your card.
I think we have the components to shift our game plan and shift our offense when it comes to the cold weather games. Like, you have guys like Tyreek Waddle where you can get them the ball underneath, let's say within 10 yards, and they can make plays all on their own.
Bingo.
I think the running game is better. But, like, if you really believe that when we go to Buffalo in mid-December, and let's say it's snowing or it's cold and wet, he's not throwing darts 25 yards down the field. He's just not doing it. So, like, let's get that out of our head.
Well, let me just say this, okay? The one thing, though, you could say about Tua, the one thing, and it's about growth, right? And last year he struggled against Tennessee, but it's about growing from that. And, he's worked hard this offseason. You got to give him credit, because I said the most important thing for him this year was consistency. He didn't have the big numbers. He didn't have to do all that, but he has shown consistency week in, week out. It's about growth, and he has.
Sure. It's not about Tua. Like, no quarterback is going to Buffalo in mid-December and throwing up 300 yards.
I agree.
Yeah, it's not a Tua thing. He's doing it. Josh Allen's not doing it.
Yeah, no one's doing that.
Yeah, and what's more important, obviously we're talking MVP and that's great, right? Who thought that mid-season before the bye week we're talking about MVPs, not 1 but 2. I mean, it's exciting.
Cool.
Now, what's the most important thing for all of us though as Dolphin fans? Wins. That's all that matters. But I will say is that Tua has been consistent. He's shown growth this year, and he has shown with Mike McDaniel, with Tyreek Hill, that he could be a reliable franchise quarterback for a football team, especially for the Miami Dolphins, which is the most important thing. Justin, let's go ahead, brother. Let's talk some bricks, man.
All right, man. Let's stack these things up. Like I said already, we had the 43 to the 30, but the main attraction here, which everybody's already been talking about it, and the main battle, which Sean here just told me is going to be changed. So let's go ahead and change that right now, and it'll be Garrett versus Shell. I'm taking Garrett on that one. I don't know who you guys got. So then if you slip it up and switch it over to the other side of the field, Armstead versus Clowney, I'll take Armstead. And then you go to the middle of the offensive line. I didn't break too many of those players down. I think our interior has been playing a little bit better. I know they got some push up front as well. I think it's going to be a good battle, and it's probably going to be a push as far as that goes.
Their interior sucks on their defensive line. Their interior defensive line.
They got some guys down there that'll push around and get in the way still.
They have like the worst run defense in the NFL.
No, I know that. I know we can run the ball on them. I know that for a fact, and I know their pressure all comes from Garrett and Clowney. They got some good linebackers too, though. So it's crazy to me that
they're all hurt.
They have the worst. Yep. Taki, is he
going
to play? Taki, he's not
playing. Owusu Koromoa's out. I know he's important for them. What's his name? Anthony Walker's on AR. Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
Taki can play, man. So I honestly, if he's there and playing, he's going to be a formidable opponent. I know they might not have the numbers to show it, but he'll be a formidable opponent. You want to go ahead and just keep it on the offensive side of the football here. Mostert and Wilson versus the Browns' run defense. Like Sean just said, they got a shitty run defense. They don't defend the run well. I'm taking our running backs versus their run defense. What you guys got? Go ahead, Sean.
I agree.
Bobby, what do you got on those?
Man, I'm with you, brother. I think so far so good. I mean, Can't disagree with you. I think our run game, I think the Jeff Wilson, I mean, last week what he did, I know it's like, you look at numbers, you don't go, whoa, but
Right.
what you saw on the field with him,
very physical,
should get you excited. I mean, he fits right in with this offense. He made a big difference. Right. I know a lot of people were criticizing the Bradley Chubb because they didn't see it. Of course, when you rewatch the tape, you could see the impact he was having, especially for Jalen Phillips. Mm-hmm. But you got to remember, Bradley Chubb is coming into something new. It's just basically do what you do best, rush the quarterback. We'll figure it out.
Go eat.
He was also literally coming back from London.
Exactly.
In 1 week's time, his team came back from London. He traveled from Denver to Miami, had to learn something, and then play on Sunday. So it was
Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson, it looked like Jeff Wilson. All he did, he left the team, came in. He's like, "Oh, I already know this. Let's go. Just tell me what we need to do." I mean, you could see it. He understood everything. So I think that is going to transcend here. I think our running game is going to have to be very important in this game. You got to keep the Browns and Nick Chubb off the field. Yeah. Control the clock in this football game. You're going to do that with this run game this week.
Absolutely. We'll keep them stacking. As my Cinderella story or my little ponies every year I've been playing so far would be Hill and Waddle versus Greedy and Emerson, whoever decided to play in there, whatever combination. I'm taking my guys again this week, which would be Hill and Waddle.
You forgot somebody.
What's that? Oh,
Denzel Ward.
Sure. Oh yeah, Denzel Ward. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about him. They would probably match up on either one of them, but I'll still take my guys.
And Newsome and Ward are the starters, and then Greedy will probably play a good amount.
Yeah, I think I have Newsome here on Sherfield in the slot. Isn't Newsome a slot back?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'll take Sherfield though.
Gotcha.
I'll take all of our wideouts versus their DBs. I mean, I'm sure you guys would agree with me, right? All that speed out there, I don't think they're going to be able to cover.
No one stopped him yet. Right? So
no one stopped him so far. So
the MVP, Tyree.
Yeah, he's looking pretty damn good, isn't he? But I mean, then you jump to. We'll stay on this side of the football, and I think we can exploit them here. I'd really like to see them try to use this player correctly, and that would be Mike Gesicki versus Grant Delpit. I'd like to see Gesicki ran up the seam, please. I want the dude up the seam and used as a chain mover and a red zone target. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I would hope so. From your lips to God's ears, brother.
Let's hope. What do you think, Sean? I know you're a Gesicki guy.
I doubt it. I am, but I just I live on pattern, and the pattern is snow. So I don't know.
Right. See, speaking of patterns, and I know you're a guy who lives by patterns, is that why you're not sold on maybe Tua transcending his game and keeping us winning like that because of what you've seen in the past? Is that kind of why?
I think we can keep on winning. I'm saying that.
I was curious.
Let's stick with your things because that's going to tie into a closing point I wanted to make.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
It'll take a little time.
Look at Justin trying to get it going. Justin, this ain't the post game. Don't pull that.
Let's see what you do. I value Sean's opinions. When he thinks something, I want to know.
Nah, I have
1,000%.
But I don't want to get off topic. So
right. We'll come back.
Let's finish up with what you're going to. Yeah. For sure.
But then we'll jump to the other side of the football. Okay, we'll jump to our defense and their offense. You got Willis versus Bradley Chubb. If I'm getting this wrong, or you see a different matchup, Sean, tell me. But Willis versus Chubb, I'll take Chubb. Benentino versus Wilkins, that's a push for me. Both are good players. Both can battle down low. Both are strong. Both are good players. Posick versus Davis, I'll take Davis. Teller versus Agba. Now Agba, he's dealing with something. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna take Agba, but that's with a very thin grain of salt. Then you got Jack Conklin versus Phillips. I'm taking Phillips. So I like most of our defensive line versus their O-line. What do you guys feel about the matchups there?
I like all of their offensive line versus our defensive line.
So you like
I am the win across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, we so again, living in patterns, right? I can't live in the hypothetical of what our defensive line could be or should be. I can go based off the fact that they're not doing anything besides getting pressures, which don't matter against most quarterbacks anyway. and you're facing the best offensive line in football this week. So I give me the offensive line versus defense.
So they're the best offensive line by the numbers?
They couldn't do it. Yeah, I mean, like, they couldn't do it against other, like, much worse offensive line. Why are they going to be able to do it against the Browns, like, class act of the NFL offensive line?
Right. Maybe they're not going to give them as many opportunities as well, because I know they like to run the football. So, I mean, you're not going to be able to get the sacks there, you know. So, who knows? But you're right. I mean, they've underperformed. Maybe I just feel that, damn, you know, I like to see the ceiling on some of these players. I'd like to see them perform on the field. So when I look at him like that, I'm like, damn, you should be able to take this guy. And that's why I'm taking him there. But you're right. At this point, they've underperformed a little bit on the defensive line. But I think the talent's there to overcome. At some point, sometime, they got to start doing it. So we'll see what happens. But we'll stay on that side. And let's go their wide receivers versus our DBs. Cooper versus Howard. I'm taking Xavier. Peoples-Jones versus Crossan. I'm going to take Peoples-Jones right here. I think Crossan's more of a guy who needs to be used as a special teams guy. I'm going to give him his flowers because he's got a special team or a Super Bowl ring, so I'm not going to take that from him. But then you got Bell versus Kuho. I'm going to take Kuho right here. He's been playing lights out, guarding people up. I'd like to see him get his hands on footballs a little bit more, make some impact plays, but we'll see what happens. Then you got their running. This is the biggest key matchup besides the Armstead Garrett, which now has turned into Shell versus Garrett. But I would think Chubb and Hunt, and you can't forget about Dearness Johnson versus the Dolphins' run defense. I know our run defense has been playing well. We have a problem with running mobile quarterbacks and not, you know, per se the running backs. But I think that's a key matchup, and I'm going to take their running backs over our run defense on this one. I think they're pretty stout. And I got a note right down here. Watch for 6 and 7 offensive lineman sets, sometimes 8 from the Browns. I want to see Tyndall get like 15 snaps on defense. That was a note I had to the end. I don't know. What do you think about those matchups to the back? Sean?
I like it. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I'll shut up now. Sorry.
What do you think, Sean?
I don't know.
I want your honest opinion. I don't care. Tell me what you think.
I hope so, Ender. I hope so, brother. We're getting there, man.
I'm gonna push on this one too because it plays into like what I wanted to say anyway.
Go for it, brother.
You'll end up it. Right. So the first, I don't know, let's say, how many games have we played? 9? I'd say like the first 6 or so games, I gave Josh Boyer a lot of respect, right? Especially dealing with the injuries, like the defense was doing what it needed to do, et cetera, et cetera. We weren't getting turnovers, we were getting sacks, but like they were doing their job. So I gave Boyer the credit for making do with what he had. The past couple of weeks, and then last week specifically, I've really lost it with Boyer for the simple fact that when I was talking to Bears fans before the game last week, and they were asking me what I thought our defensive game plan would be, I gave them the per game plan, which was rush only 4, drop people into zone. That way you're going to have Fields not feeling uncomfortable enough in the pocket where he's going to leave and look to run, and he sucks throwing against zone. We did the exact opposite. We blitzed and gave him all the reason to get off and run. It was a terrible game plan. There was no adjustment at half. We just got Chubb in. Chubb needs time. I get it. Where I'm at is you have this game, and this game is really going to speak volumes to me because this is a typical game where you could be looking ahead to the bye, get caught slipping against a tough Browns team, and really piss me off with us having like a tough schedule here on out. Like, you don't need to get 4 losses. You need to get this game, and you need to get the Texans game to put yourself in real good position for the offseason. So here's where I'm at right now. You have this game, you have the bye week, and then you have the week leading up to the Texans game to get your fucking shit figured out. Pardon my language. Because I'm at the point where we're late enough in the season where I'm highly concerned this defense is going to cost us a playoff game. It doesn't matter how good our offense is. We're putting up points and numbers against the Lions and the Bears, and we'll put up numbers, but you're not facing the level of competition you're going to face in the playoffs. You're not facing Patrick Mahomes. You're facing the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. You're not facing like the creme de la creme of the AFC. So like you need to get it figured out, and you get it figured out yesterday. You have until the Texans game to get a sustainable defense on the fields before you cost the team their entire season and make it all for naught.
Yeah, that's
because that's what's going to happen. We can't compete happen. Right now.
Yeah, that cannot.
So that's where I'm at. I'm happy. I have nothing to say about the offense. I'm super happy about the offense. I'm happy we're winning. But we are making these games a little too uncomfortable for ourselves. Like the Lions game, the Steelers game. Like we should have had 40 points on the board against the Steelers. We won 16-10. We almost just lost to the Bears. It wasn't for penalty. You need to get it figured out before you cost this team its season and games that matter.
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree. Their adjustments aren't coming fast enough. And the game plan with last week was just terrible. I like your game plan versus a running quarterback a lot better than what they came out with. But what I do think from all of this is and I'm going to ask both of you, do you think it's just a matter of them trying to get too cute and doing too much experimenting on that side of the football? What the hell is going on over there?
So here's why I said I don't really have an answer when you ask like how I felt about our defense versus our offense. I don't know what our defense is, and that's a problem. Our defense has no identity. We are a different scheme. It feels like week by week. I have no idea what we run, like at all. Like I don't know what we are or what our scheme is. Right. Like we have players like 1 week Kohu will be a boundary, the next week he's a slot. Javon Holland will be playing slot corner. Like I don't know what we are. So like it's really hard to answer that. But like if I'm Josh Boyer and I'm looking at this game, I am keeping 7 in the box. You don't have to blitz. Just play your base run defense. Have Kohu on Amari Cooper. I actually like that a lot more than Howard on Cooper because I like the physicality Kohu's been playing with. He has yet to get beat by a receiver. Like I really would rather see Kohu on Amari Cooper. Not to mention Xavier Howard doesn't travel. Like he stays on his side of the ball or side of the field, which is pretty opposite from Cooper's anyway. And worry about I'm not worried about Donovan Peoples-Jones and Bell and Schwartz and they don't even have David Njoku. So really, like, don't get cute. You don't need to blitz Jacoby Brissett. Like, play your run defense, get them into 3rd and 5s, and I feel good about us in a 3rd and 5, in a 3rd and 6. Like, but that's the key. Like, if you're giving them a 3rd and if you're giving them a short 3rd to work with, like, that's where you're going to get into trouble because either they're going to run for a first down or if they're getting a rhythm with the run game, that's when Jacoby Brissett becomes dangerous because he plays that efficient style where they can play action. He gets the time in the pocket because of their offensive line, and he can just find a guy in a zone. So
that's why we got to keep him out of rhythm. Like your 3rd and 6s and stuff, I'd like them to be in more like 3rd and longs, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 12s. But I know. In order to do that, we got to win on first down.
Nick Chubb. The way I look at it is like, no matter how good a run defense is, Nick Chubb's going to get yards no matter who he plays against. Like he's good for 80 yards a game regardless. So, he'll have some success for sure. But like, if we go out there tomorrow and I see some half-baked fucking game plan again, like I don't know how I'm going to feel like going into the rest of the season. Like this dude needs to game plan better. Like that's cool. You made adjustments at halftime against the Steelers and the Lions, but like it's the Steelers and the Lions, man. Like we're going to get crushed at the rate we're going against San Fran. How we're going to stop that offense beyond my, like, I don't have the creative juices to tell you.
So I think, your points are absolutely fair. I think the defense, and it's true, the defense, we don't know what the real strength is of this defense. It's really it has no identity. It's a bend not break defense. It hasn't really had that game where you go, hell yeah. They did win us a game against the Steelers, which is to your point. I mean, barely surviving that interception at the end with Igbo, all that. Ender has a great point. Ender, Ralph, I see you guys all. Evan, obviously, California, everyone on there. We all appreciate you guys watching. Smash that like and subscribe. But Ender says it's like the team, the Dolphins, plays to the level of the competition. They adjust each week. And I know, Sean, you said it a few weeks back, man. You are a week by week person. When I listen to Sean talk, you know what I think of that makes me equate to it? It's Eddie Murphy. What have you done for me lately? It's not about what could happen 3 weeks from now or 5 weeks before. But what are you showing? What have you done for me lately? When Eddie Murphy says, "But I love you. What have you done for me lately?" But baby, please, what have you done for me lately? But it's fair.
And that's because the team has never been like, I have never seen a consistent Dolphins season from week 1 to week 17 where like I know the identity of this team week in and week out. Like I know the identity of our offense, but I don't know the identity of our team. Like our special team sucks. Our defense is super hit or miss. So like I don't know what to expect. And until I know what to expect, like I just take it week by week.
I appreciate that. No, I think that's fair. And you know what? That's why I love doing these shows right here, because to me, I don't always have to agree with everybody. Me and Justin butt head to head on the post game show. We've had Evan makes me rip my hair out. That's why I wear a hat. No, I'm just kidding. But it's people who are smarter than me who say things, and it's like, damn, it's another way to look at it. And Sean, you're hitting the nails on the head. I will say this is, despite all that, the bend don't break, no identity. I call it a bipolar defense. One day they look like they're doing it, and all of a sudden they switch it up. The Dolphins are still winning football games. They're still 6-3. They're still 6-3. So we hope. The prayer is that they could figure this out when it comes time to do it. But I understand the point. It's just they're still 6-3 with that, and all those issues are legitimate. It's not like Sean saying stuff that it's like, oh, come on, dude. No, he's right.
Yeah.
But here's the silver lining: Dolphins are 6-3.
Yep.
With one of the hottest offenses in the NFL with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and Tua. The big three in Miami used to be LeBron, Wade, and Bosch. Right now, it's Tyreek, Waddle, and Tua. So,
don't get me wrong. We're going to the playoffs. I fully expect us to go to the playoffs. It's just like I have to look at matchups, and like right now, I don't like how our defense matches up against any offense in the playoffs.
And that's fair. The defense has to do the defense's job now is to prove that they can do it. They have.
I don't like the way they match up either particularly, but we also need to remember this. Some of these guys, they're going to ramp up their games once they get into the playoffs, and maybe you're going to see something that we ain't seen yet, because they have yet to play a complete game. I haven't seen the offense, defense, and special teams come together yet.
Justin, you know what saying comes to mind as soon as you said that? We just said it. What have you done for me lately?
It's true, but you know what? You can say
they could do it at the playoffs, but what have you done for me lately?
For me though, Justin. Justin, for me though, it's like, how many times have you seen a defense in the bottom third of the NFL out of nowhere go to the top third of the NFL? Like even like top 15, like when like Chubb will have an impact 100%, but like I don't know. Like I think there's ways to make it work.
I'm holding on to that little glimmer of hope that you just said right there. Do you have any hope?
Same.
Just hoping we can ride it out long enough to the Super Bowl. I'll be honest with you, bro.
Bobby,
I'll take it.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I said this on Spaces yesterday. I might actually see you. I might actually see you in Florida during the bye week because I'm thinking about going down there and finding Byron Jones and just shattering his knee. So that way I know he's hurt. That way, like, I know why
what's going on. Yeah, I get it.
I might just go fucking shatter his knee for him. That way I have no questions about why he's not on a football field like 11 months after surgery.
Watch after the bye week, I bet you he plays.
Evan says, come on, 6-3. It's an aberration. This team should be 1-8. Come on, Evan. Don't be like that, bro. Don't be a hater. Evan. No, I'm just messing around. guys. Okay, so we're talking about playoffs. We're talking about other stuff. Let's finish this off with Cleveland. We're getting on the hour, but we're having a lot of fun. Everyone who's tuning in, you're watching Digging in the Trenches with JPF Scout, Bobby Finstock, Sean Williams. Smash that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you all, whether you're watching Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Don't forget, you see that jersey he's wearing? You could get that one. You get many different types. Hit up Justin, JPF Scout on Twitter. Check all types of fan gear, custom gear, all types of jerseys. I love that black jersey. I love the black jersey. You know, man, all types of stuff. Hit him up. He will hook you up, and I mean it. He'll give you all the details. Reach out to him. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Okay, guys, Sean, we'll start with you, then JPF Scout. And I had it already. I'll tell you mine after. But Sean, man, what do you got going on tomorrow, man, with this game? What's your prediction, brother? Dolphins go 7-3 into the bye. What do you think?
I can't, like, everything in my gut is telling me one thing, but, like, I'm just going to go with my fan perspective. I'm going to say we get, like, a 23-20 win in a really tough game.
I'll take it.
Win's a win, baby. That's
Absolutely.
Okay. But that's another one where Sean, it's true. But you gotta go, damn, man. You know, it's close. You don't want it to be better, but it's 7-3 going.
Every time I don't even want to say it, but like every time I get one of these gut feelings, like it always pans out that way. Yeah, it always pans out that way, and I'm like trying to fight it.
Fight it, bro. Keep fighting.
Don't give up, brother. We're here for you.
I'm here for you, dude.
Justin, my man, what do you got, bro?
You know what? I feel Sean. That's why I love having him on the show, and I love his opinions because honestly, he's more realistic about it than I am. I try to stay a little bit more. Man, I just want to see the good in all these players, and I want to see the good in our team. So I always see the glasses half full rather than half empty. And you know, I'm that eternal optimist who's going to think that the next game is going to be the game we're going to break out and everything's going to come together, you know, and that's just kind of how I am. I always am. And I'll be honest with you, I got the Dolphins winning the game 34-20, and I think everything's going to come together. Fins up.
Yeah. You know, I had a big win last week, but it was a lot closer than I would have wanted it. It's been like that a couple of weeks, so I'm kind of gotten a little smartened up a little bit because I do go with that what have you done for me lately thing. Show me, you know, but I have it because of the running attack for Cleveland, their defense. But Miami does play up to the competition or play to the competition, and they can score over a team if they need to. I got it 31-28. Dolphins go 7-3 into the bye. It's going to be a close game.
Hey, I will say this. The past 3 weeks, I have predicted Dolphins blowouts, and not one of them have been. So this week I'm not predicting one. So it'll be a Dolphins blowout. Yeah, for sure.
It'll be 51-0. I'll be like, get Sean back in here. Let's talk about this. It's all good. Hey, we hope so. We hope so, right? But we're going to be realistic. It's cool. I think all the scores are fair. 69-4. Evan says for the Browns. Of course, we know he's trolling. He's being a pain in the ass. He's good at that. We love him for it.
I love Evan.
Hey, but guys, Justin, man, any final words? Any final thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I have a couple final thoughts, a couple final words. Kind of piggybacking off of what Sean was talking about. It's fine and dandy. I think we got a playoff team. I think we got a great playoff team. But what are we going to get when it gets into the playoffs? I think that's a whole nother story, a whole nother show. We'll get into it a little bit more. But I'm hoping we get to see something special here, you guys. And I think I'm going to hold out hope that's what we're going to get. Something we've never seen before. A team come out that's so hungry that it'll run through your wall, my wall, and the brick wall downstairs at the grocery store to get this Super Bowl ring, because sometimes that's what it's going to take in order to do this. You're going to have to make sacrifices. And I hope that they're going to play for one another, and I hope we see them just come out smoking hot once we get into the playoffs. That'll be my final thought, because I think we have the team to do it. I honestly do. I'm not going to vary. I'm not going to waver. Fins up.
What about Sean? Any final words, brother?
Yeah, I am the president and CEO of the Jeff Wilson Stan Club. I'm excited. I'm excited to continue watching how that develops. And one player I think deserves a shout out for how he played last week that is never on anybody's radar is Eric Rowe. He was out there laying hits last week. Like he was like laying shoulders on people.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see if he can get some of that momentum going. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to be miserable during the bye week as I always am because I hate the bye week.
If I was still at home, I'd be miserable too. But I'm going to go see family. I'm going to go see Ralphie boy. Love my stepfather. Can't wait to see him. Get my arms around that big dude. Get to see my mom, see the family. I'm excited.
Awesome.
So I won't be seeing Dolphins, but I'll be seeing them. Of course, we'll be talking Dolphins. I'll be doing some shows down there. You know, Ralph has it 21-17. He says we're going to run the ball well. From his lips to God's ears. Ender, good to see you. Everybody who's tuning in, thank you so much for watching Digging in the Trenches with Justin and myself, with Sean. Man, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be back with my boys. Post-game show, win, lose, or draw. Raw emotion. We do it always that way. We are excited. Dolphins go 7-3. Our lips to God's ears. We appreciate you guys.
Baby, I like it raw.
Like,
yeah, baby, I like it raw.
All right. Fins up, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Love you guys. Fins up.
Fins up.